This is Jennifer with iCadenza, and I'm here with David Finkel and Wu Han, the artistic directors of Music at Menlo. So thank you for being here with me, and I want to hear about your exciting season coming up, starting this weekend. So, how was it that Music at Menlo was founded, and what was your inspiration behind this series?
Well, MusicMenlo was founded 8 years ago. We want to create an oasis in the world that really center in chamber music and give audience an immersion program. So it's a festival with thematic program, usually with many programs explore a central idea, and also it's a festival with a very strong education component and a community component in there. This year, it will start this Friday, which is incredibly exciting. We'll have 7 main stage program, and we call them the Map and Legend. So the idea is taking a location or a special time or a special region and explore them through the chamber music repertoire. For instance, we have the opening program, we call them the season. It's the Vivaldi's Four Seasons and George Crumb music for summer evening. So it's from the Baroque era to the contemporary music. We have another program, it's the 1920s of Paris. So including composer like Copland, Antheil, of course, the French composer Milhaud and everybody, and it finished up with Gershwin, American in Paris. We have the finishing program is the very last program is called the American program, but it's with a twist. It's the Dvorak's American, so it shows how the American folk music influenced the Dvorak's music as well. So many different ideas for the audience to explore this incredible art form.
And something that is so unique about Music at Menlo is really the emphasis on young people, both in terms of music education, but also with a fabulous internship program that really caters to young people's interests and helps them get started early. So please tell me about that.
We have always loved having the presence of young musicians amongst us while we are making music, while we are working. It's inspiring, it's enlightening, and it makes sense in terms of our being able to sort of reproduce ourselves or our type for the future, because as a musician, especially one my age, you accumulate an incredible amount of knowledge and experience and perspective. And it's a great joy to share that with younger people who have not gotten out in the world as much, but that have all the talent, drive, ambition, intelligence to pursue this art form. So a place like Music at Menlo is kind of a crucible of learning and an ideal place to pass along our knowledge to the next generation.
So just to explain, there's two components. One is the music component of it. This year we have 46 youngsters with us from age 9 till all the way till 28 with us, and they are alongside performing and learning and getting coachings and learning how to explore the art form. We also, the internship program you have mentioned before, we have about 20 of them, and they are trained as the next generation of the artistic administrators. The other one actually runs the festival, put on the productions, selling the merchandise, entertain the donors, doing the administration, doing PR work, design work, and it's what the arts industry will need in the future.
Absolutely, and that's so fantastic. And something that's so unique about Music at Menlo is the location. You're in the heart of Silicon Valley, and I know the idea of startups and entrepreneurship has infused your mission here with Music at Menlo. Can you please tell me about that?
Well, you are in the Silicon Valley, so the idea is always try new things. And I think the valley, because its spirit, so a new idea is never discouraged. And it's very similar to music. You know, if you try a new way of approaching your piece, it's always very exciting. We are in the center of the Silicon Valley, and the students do carry that spirit forward. But I think the most important thing is, besides just exploring new idea, it's actually keeping the quality in the highest level. And that's something Music at Menlo always celebrate, from the business end of it, also from the performing and education portion of it. We always want to strive for the highest quality. And that also is very inspiring to all of us to see.
And what role has technology played both at Music at Menlo and also in the other projects that you work on? Of course, there are many, including an online recording project that you're working on.
As young musicians, we learned a tremendous amount from listening to great recordings. They were inspiring, informative, and widened our perspective on interpretation to no end. So when we became good enough to make our own recordings and to feel that our own interpretations were worthy of memorializing on a CD, Wuhan and I started, and we have been recording ourselves rigorously since we first started playing together, and as a result of that, established our own recording label that is devoted to our work. Our enthusiasm also spreads to the organizations with whom we work, with which we work. Music at Menlo, the performances here are really, really world class, and thank goodness we're able to capture them in audiophile quality due to the presence of our amazing audio engineer Dahong Situ, who travels here from New York, who has been our engineer at our own company for many years. And I have to say the recordings that we make here are among the finest chamber music recordings of all time. So via these recordings, the internet gets our music, the radio stations get our music nationally and internationally, and we're able to spread the quality of our work worldwide.
We also have our own radio show because these recordings are so fantastic. So we are partnered with American Public Media, and that's very important. I believe last year's listenership is reaching about 4 million,
Wow.
and it's also going to Europe as well. We also have a product called Audio Note. Everybody who bought a ticket to come to Museum Menlo's event can either download or receive a CD. And this is a particular product produced from the festival, explaining all the pieces, giving the audience contextual background, artist interview, composer's information, musical example. So our audience, by the time they hit the concert seats, they're well informed, they're excited, they're enthusiastic, and they are knowledgeable. And it creates a very, very different atmosphere. And there are many other things we do. For instance, we have a whole series called the Encounter series that we invite knowledgeable scholars or very interesting lecturer to explain to our audience what they will be listening to. For instance, on the 1920 Paris, we will have Bruce Adolph leading us for that whole evening of the lecture, and talking about not just the musical musician, also about the artist and what are the spirit and art scene and intellectual information around that era. We have 4 lectures this year. One also very interesting, exploring English Renaissance in the beginning of the 1900s. So these are the things we do. You could see it's like an emergent program. It's not the same as you go to a single concert. We have many people actually allocate 3 weeks of their time, practically live on campus. The reward is, by the end of the festival, they walk away a different person.
Well, you certainly are changing lives here with the work you do, but this is not all that you do with your time. I know, David, you're part of the Emerson String Quartet, and you both do a lot of work with the Chamber Music Society of Lincoln Center, as well as your own concerts. So how do you balance all of that, and especially the different locations that they require you to be in?
Well, we are very busy, and we do wear quite a few hats, but they're all connected somehow. Our do you say Rolodex anymore? Do people know what a Rolodex is? I mean, or is it a contact list? From all of this activity, our contact list is very large, especially in terms of really great musicians. And it's always widening. We meet new players, new composers, new presenters all the time. And the information from one source helps the activity in another venue. So I think the more that we do in some ways, the better we can actually get at it, as long as we get enough sleep and as long as our travel agent doesn't quit.
Well, Chamber Music Society of Lincoln Center is a year-round organization, except in the summertime. So, and it is also centered on chamber music. It's one of the oldest chamber music organizations in the United States. It also has the reputation of always being the leader in the chamber music field for United States. So it's very exciting to have a year-round job to think of how to pace and develop chamber music throughout the years. Especially, it's sort of a very much international now organization. For instance, we'll have 3 or 4 different European residency coming on the next 2 years. We are also creating a chamber music in Korea with the corporation of LG company. And so our main goal is, as you could see, is very, very much centered in chamber music. So if you think of a year-round organization, a summer festival, except the core mission and the core repertoire, it's exactly the same. It's, he takes care of the string quartet part, I take care of the string and piano repertoire. So it's a very good partnership.